Welcome to the Forward Podcast. The purpose of this podcast is change the negative stigma around failure into a positive. Failure is only a negative if we do not learn from it and we give up. Welcome back to the Forward Podcast. This is my first episode back since having a very light stroke back on October the 7th. So what I wanted to do is just talk a little bit around that and also give some context to the episode that we put out a couple of weeks ago. It was a rerun about the importance of having a business that works for you. So on October the 7th, I had a very light stroke. I was very fortunate that it was light. I spent 3 days in hospital completely questioning my life because I didn't actually know what had happened to me until 3 days later. At the time when it happened, they did a scan. They told me they'd found something in my head, and instantly my worst thoughts were that I had a brain tumour or something that was going to be life-ending or life-changing. So I spent 3 days questioning my life in every single way I could, thinking about my children. I was actually bargaining with life, just saying, please just give me another 15 years, just so I can see my children grow up and that their childhood doesn't get dented by the loss of their father. But I was very fortunate to find out that I had a very light stroke. But what that meant is that they said, look, we don't really want you working for the next 8 to 12 weeks. You need to be making sure that you're not at work at all. So what I then went and did, great, okay, told my whole team. They went, don't worry, we've got your back. We will look after the business. And for the last 8 or 9 weeks, I haven't really worked. I've done a little bit. I can't switch off. And any of you entrepreneurs, business owners will understand what I mean. Switching off completely is very, very difficult. But what it gave me a great opportunity to be able to do is be able to spend some time with my family, be able to do the school runs again, got to be a dad and do all those cool stuff, and just to slow down. And what I got out the back of that is we pick up so much stuff in life that we do on a daily basis that might not necessarily be part of the plan or part of where we're trying to go, but we pick up different things that happen, like membership sites and different networking groups and different things that are going on. And before we know it, we're saying yes to everything rather than no to things. And we just fill our diaries and we end up being so busy. And what I got from what happened is that suddenly I went, right, clear all my diaries, clear everything that I'm doing. And suddenly I had mountains of time in my hand. My phone wasn't ringing. My team did an amazing job of looking after the businesses. They were still flowing and working. And suddenly I had all this time. And I was like, where have I suddenly gone from having no time at all a week ago to suddenly having all this time? And what I really wanted to get to the bottom of in this episode is that, firstly, what are you doing right now that isn't serving your plan, your mission of what you're trying to do? And secondly, have you got a plan of what you're going to do and what you want to do and where you want to be in 3 years, where you want to be in 5 years and where you want to be in 10 years? And that plan could be in your own life, and it all can be a business plan. But it's so important to be asking both those questions. So firstly, we're going to talk about filling your diary and being able to say with lots of stuff and being able to say no to things, because quite often we say yes to a lot of stuff and we pick up all these different things that we're doing, and actually it's not serving you or your business or part of the plan and the mission. So what I want you guys to do now is open your diary for the next 2 weeks and have a look through it and ask yourself questions. Is that really necessary? Is this going to help and serve me? Am I doing this for me, or am I doing this for my business, or why am I doing this? Because what I realized is I picked up so many things that aren't needed to be done. They're not important. They're not mission critical. And then you end up being really busy, because when I look back this year, I've not been stressed. A lot of people said, no wonder you had a stroke. You've been so busy. You've been doing so much. And you've been so stressed. And I said, well, I haven't been stressed. Yes, 4 years ago when I lost a business, yes, I was stressed. If I had a stroke 4 years ago when I failed, then I would have gone, okay, that makes total sense. This year, we've got the biggest team we've had. I've been busy and I've been enjoying life, but I haven't been stressed. But what I realise now is that I picked up so many small day-to-day things that I don't need to be doing anymore. So have a look at your diary. Start having a look at what you're doing and whether that's serving you. And the next thing is to be thinking about the plan. Do you have a business plan? Jay Allen, who is now my business partner, he said, and you probably would have listened to the episode a few weeks ago, that 54% of businesses fail because they don't have a business plan. And I certainly know I didn't have a plan for years. So my question is, do you have a plan? Do you have a business plan, and do you have a plan about where you want to be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? and then start putting that plan together. And then anything that you're doing in your diary that's not serving that plan, and I'm not talking about taking the kids to school, or like I've just been to see Ned's nativity. That's not part of my business plan. That's part of my life plan to be a good father. So that's still very important. So I don't want you to go cancel your kids' nativity or cancel spending time with your family. What I'm talking about specifically now is away from the R&R that you do, the hobbies and the downtime you have. When you're in work mode, business mode, and what you're doing, is what you're doing serving the plan? And if it's no, stop doing it. Just stop today, stop doing it. Leave that membership site, that networking thing that you're doing that you're not turning up to, and you're getting really frustrated because every month you keep missing it, but money's still coming out of your account. We've all done it with the gym membership, with the things that we sign up to, which in the moment feels great, but actually to execute and be able to be part and really engage in a community or networking or whatever it is, exercise, you need to spend the time doing it. So if there's something that you're currently doing that's not serving part of the plan, then just stop doing it. For example, it happens quite a lot when I mentor tree surgeons. I get asked, I'm going to get a Unimog. Okay, cool. Why are you going to get a Unimog? Well, it'll be really helpful for my business. Okay, so how helpful is it going to be? Is it part of the plan? It's not part of the plan. So don't buy it then. Unless it's part of the plan and you've put it together, because quite often what we end up doing is we get led by our egos. And we talked about social media before, but you can scroll through social media. It happens to me all the time. I've got competitors that have got different pieces of kit. They've got shiny tractors, shiny big chippers. And I suddenly start to feel like, do I need a big shiny tractor? And do I need a big chipper? And then go back to my business plan and go, that's not part of the plan. So I'm not going to go and buy that. Because it's very easy for our ego to get taken over by thinking we need all the shiny things to be successful in business. But you don't. What you need is to be able to have a plan that you can execute and stick to. So remember, 54% of businesses fail because they don't have a proper business plan that they have implemented in their business and they review on a weekly and monthly basis. So the point of this episode really is to say, if there is stuff in your life that is not serving part of the plan, just stop doing it. Everyone says time's precious and life is short. I don't actually believe that life is that short. It is in the whole galaxy of the world. When you watch Brian Cox, if you're like me, my head starts to hurt thinking about how big the universe is. So yes, in that context, life is very short. It's a limited amount of time. But when you think about it, if you're a man, live the average age to 80 years, that's a long time. It's a very long time. You have days, every single day, hours, but how much of it are you wasting? How much are you wasting by doing things that aren't serving you for your R&R and your family or your hobbies? And how much are you doing that is not serving for your business? How much time are you wasting checking emails and checking social media? And how much? That's a very good point to talk about with social media. If one of the reasons why you're not achieving what you want to achieve is to do with time, because I hear it all the time, people say, I don't have enough time. Go and have a look, take your phone out now, go into the settings and see how much time you spent on social media in the last day, in the last week, because I can guarantee you'll be able to find hours and hours of time. So the point of this episode is, if something's not serving you, it's not part of your plan, stop doing it, because then you'll have a lot more time to be focusing on family, R&R, the higher value tasks that are going to get you to your goal and your business goals, your life goals that you want to achieve. So stop doing the things that aren't serving you. I'd just like to finish this episode to say thank you to everybody who has sent me messages and reached out to me over the last 6 or 7 weeks. It's been overwhelming with the amount of responses, and apologies if someone's messaged me and I haven't got back to them. The amount of messages I've had has just got a bit overwhelming, and I might have missed a couple along the way. But I just wanted to say thank you for everyone's support, because it has been absolutely amazing. So keep going, keep pushing forward, keep failing forward, and keep learning from the day-to-day experiences. Thank you for listening, and take care.